am here to do some solo recapping today. But before we get into that, just a reminder, do subscribe to the Dumpster Dive YouTube channel at youtube.com/dumpsterdivepod. You can find video episodes of all of the podcast episodes there, as well as some exclusive fun YouTube content like ranking reality series, ranking America's Next Top Model, and coming up next, we have a ranking of the biggest Bravo scandals ever to hit the news sources, the media outlets. The biggest Bravo scandals, we're going to be ranking those. All of that can be found over at the Dumpster Dive YouTube channel, so make sure to go check that out. And if you would like to hear this episode earlier than the rest, and with no ads, you can subscribe to the Dumpster Dive Patreon at patreon.com/dumpsterdivepod. Let's get after it. So, to be transparent, we have a recap coming later this week. It's a Summer House recap, but it's also a combo with Survivor because we're having two gay Matts on who are wonderful, hilarious pop culture commentators on YouTube. But one of them is versed in Bravo, one of them is not. And so we were kind of doing like a swap of what either is versed in. So we're going to cover Survivor and Summer House and Bravo in general. But I wanted to go ahead and recap alone, just first recap. You'll get like a second recap later this week because there's so much nitty gritty that happened here. I want to make sure y'all are fed in terms of beat by beat recap, as well as all the news happening in the Bravo Summer House universe. There's just a lot going on, and I think it warrants its own real energy. So I'm going to work on that here with y'all. And I know y'all like when I recap alone sometimes, because sometimes I think we do get into the nitty gritty a little bit more when I'm by myself, because I can just wax poetically about how much I hate Wes Wilson's Tim's. More on that later. But yeah, we're going to chat the news of the week as well as Summer House Season 10, Episode 12. So to start us out, I want to dive in to everything that has happened since we hopped on the mic last week. Last week, we chatted with Courtney from Two Judgy Girls, and when we recorded, I think, the day that the Megan King and Kyle thing happened. We missed that. That feels like years ago at this point. But so going chronologically through the things that have been going on. First, KJ has been an absolute delight on Threads. KJ is using it like old Twitter. Like he is just on there typing everything. And it's clear that through that, he is beyond disgusted with Wes' behavior, and he is gonna come for him at this reunion. I really feel that he's gonna be like, what is your problem? What is your problem? You've ruined everything. And while KJ, I'm like, KJ, stay in your lane a little bit because like you're not even involved in this drama. At the same time, I love a pile-on when it's a pile-on to a straight white man at a reunion. So go for it. Go for it, diva. He had a very cute birthday that Dara hosted that had a lot of the Summer House crew there. And I don't know, he's just being really cute online. I mean, I think he's adorable on the show. I also just want to be his friend. He seems like a very genuinely nice human. So shout out to KJ's wonderfully chaotic Threads presence. Okay, next, let's talk about Megan King, Edmonds, and Kyle. So Danny and Evan from Virtual Reality, friends of the pod here, they hosted a Page 6 event that Kyle was at. Kyle often goes to a lot of those. That's actually where I met Kyle for the first time, was at one of Evan and Danny's events. And Kyle was there, as well as, drum roll, Megan King Edmonds. Remember her? She will come up later on an episode because I am once again going to be ranking the Bravo scandals, and she is at the center of what I think is one of the greatest scandals on Bravo, which is Brooks versus cancer. But Megan King and Kyle were both at this event together and then were photographed by some fan, I assume, across the street after the event making out. And Kyle is on his little tippy toes trying to kiss Miss Megan King. Now, a couple things to go through here. One, need we not forget that Megan King Edmonds was married for 3 months to a Biden, thus meaning Joe Biden is one person removed from the West and Sierra Gate. Now, y'all, I am one person removed from West and Sierra Gate. So is Joe Biden. To clarify that, my good friend from work, an old coworker, is Kyle's first cousin and like childhood best friend. So essentially it's me, Joe Biden, being like, my childhood best friend, Megan Katie Edmonds, is with Kyle Cook. It's just crazy how small these worlds are. Like, me and Joe Biden are one person removed from this crazy thing. Whoa. I want to hear what Joe has to say about this. Any takes, Joe? Any takes at all? I feel like Dr. Jill has been versed in Summer House, especially. I have a feeling that she knows Bravo a bit, especially in retirement, baby. She is not the first lady anymore. She can curl up on that couch and what's that house they all stay in after they don't be presidents? And she's just going to watch some Summer House and catch up with the girls and catch up with her briefly, not daughter-in-law, but like cousin. What is it if they're is that a once removed? If they're like I think it was like her niece's, no, her nephew's wife. What is that? Who cares? But also a fun fact about Megan King. I have met Megan King. Now, how do I venture into this safely? So I used to be friendly with someone who hosted shows, and I would MC them. And Megan King Edmonds was the like celebrity of that tour stop that I was MCing on. And she was very nice, but she was a little. One thing that was interesting about her is that I never been around a housewife. I had never been around an ex-housewife. I had been around Luann, who was on the show when I was around her. I'd been around Margaret before, who was on the show while I was around her. I'd been around Dolores while she was on the show. But Megan was the first one that I'd been around that was no longer on Bravo and hadn't been for a minute. And she had very much, and maybe it was because it was a Bravo event, but she had big, like, put me back on TV energy. And it was a little off-putting to me, to be honest. She was very nice, but she wouldn't stop talking about, like, I've pitched myself to Bravo to come back again. And it's like, okay, well, like, that was a long time ago. And I think your impact she had a really big impact on her first season, but her other seasons were just kind of like, okay. So she also doesn't live in Orange County anymore. I believe she lives. She kind of has. This is the other thing. She kept talking about how she was bopping around cities, and the cities just happened to be cities that Housewives were filmed in. And I was like she did live in St. Louis for a little bit, and then she left there because like there's no Housewives to be had there. I think she was living in New York. I think she was living closer to Beverly Hills. I think that she has bopped around a lot. And I don't know, that was the one thing that was kind of confusing to me. I was like, why are you so obsessed with getting back on this show? I don't know. The vibes were a little weird, a little like fame hungry. But at the same time, I can't imagine being in those shoes of being like, I was my breakout season. I was part of the center of the drama regarding a cancer scandal. And then Kelly Dodd came in and stripped me of all of the joy that I had on this television program. And then now I'm no longer there. I'd probably be mad too, I guess. But anyways, MKE, or I don't know if she just goes by MK now, but her and Kyle were making out. And guys, the biggest reveal of this makeout is that Kyle is 2 years older than her. I'll say that again. Kyle Cook is 2 years older than Megan King Edmonds. Shocking. Shocking. So yeah, that happened. I don't know what's happening now with them. I don't know if that was just like a let's drunkenly make out and then never talk again. I hope, honestly, I hope they got it in. I hope they figured something out. Kyle deserves to get laid at this point because Amanda's getting, flipped upside down every night at West's dirty ass castle in the sky. Here's the thing about West. He has a dirty vibe to him, but a lot of times the dirty vibe guys chow down for hours. So that's the one thing I'm going to give to him. I bet you there's a reason these ladies are a little twisty-turny over him because I think he goes to town and he makes sure everyone's pleased. He may not smell right, but he makes sure everyone's pleased. For me, that would be a problem right off the bat. You got to smell okay. We can't be dealing with stanky. That's not in the cards for me. But while we're on the subject of Stanky and Mandy, Stanky and Mandy were seen on a kiss cam at the Yankees game on Friday. Now, I was at a wedding on Friday. Shout out to Madison. She's one of our OG dumpster divas. I want to give Madison a big shout out. Madison, now Rogers, and she got married on Friday to her wonderful husband, Mike. Brian and I were at the wedding. It's one of Brian's best friends. It was a beautiful wedding at the Wythe Hotel in Brooklyn. I love those two very much, and we looked good. We got our finest black tie on and went to go celebrate these two. And both Madison and her husband Mike are Diet Coke enthusiasts. And now a little known fact about me is that I myself have never had Diet Coke. I've never had Coke at all. Clip that. I've never had Diet Coke or Coke Zero or any. The only brown soda that I've ever had was root beer. Long story short, I grew up hating carbonation. I thought it was disgusting. Like, it made me feel nauseous every time I had it. I started to drink carbonation in college, essentially when I started drinking, because it was like a good mixer. And then I started drinking ginger ale, like a true loser. I love ginger ale and I love my ginger ale drinkers. It's just kind of a funny thing to be like, I don't drink sodas, I do drink ginger ale. It's just kind of like, yeah, that's kind of like grandma vibes, which I proudly rock grandma vibes. Shout out. So I was like a ginger ale girl and seltzer. And then in the last 3 years, I started drinking Sprite. But only from I would do a fountain Sprite at a fast food joint once a year. I'm not a soda person at all. So everyone in my life has been like, when are we getting you on Coke? Clip that. When are we getting you on the DCs, the fridge cigs? And I just was always like, I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me. I just don't really have a taste for it. So at her wedding, they had, instead of a champagne tower, they had a Diet Coke tower. So there was regular Diet Coke, and then there was cherry Diet Coke, and then there were fixings. So there was the really good cherries, not the maraschino cherries, the ones that have been soaked and stuff, those, as well as limes, and you could make your Diet Coke nice and fancy. And I told Madison and Mike, I was like, I love you guys. For your wedding, I will have my first full can of Diet Coke. I'm not just going to sip it. I'm going to have the whole thing. So I got myself a cherry Diet Coke. I squeezed a little lime in it, so a little cherry limeade feel. Threw a couple marinated cherries in the mix. And I was out on that dance floor with my Diet Coke just vibing. And y'all, I have to say something. It was delicious. So I don't know if I look different to you. I don't know if I sound different, but I am now someone who has had Diet Coke. Shout out. But anyways, back to Madison and Mike. So I was at Madison and Mike's wedding, and mid reception, I said, Madison, baby, come here. You got to come over here. I know this is your day, and I know you want to remember. I know you want to remember other things besides, Summer House, but I have to show you, and I did show the bride the video of West and Amanda making out on the kiss cam at Yankee Stadium, because y'all, it was shocking. The fact that they are out in these streets, like being lovey-dovey like that, they just look, guys, they look bad together. Does anyone else feel that? I think it's also just like, why are y'all doubling down so hard on whatever this is? And Sierra had this amazing write-up in Glamour where she talked about their situation, or actually, I'm sorry, this quote was actually not in the Glamour interview. This quote was in like People or Us Weekly, and it was like a friend quoting her, essentially saying that, I hope they get married, because like, if you're gonna do this, it needs to be worth it, because at what cost? If you truly are a couple, if you truly are like in love with each other, I'm willing to just be like moderately supportive of it. But if this is just a fling and you ruin a friendship for a fling, fuck off. Every time I say fuck off, it makes me think of that viral video of the gays at the airport with the dogs and the old woman, and he's like, fuck off. What does he say? He's like, you stupid bitch. I can't remember. Y'all look it up. Look up two gays fighting old lady at airport. You'll find it. But he says, remember the girls. Remember the girls. So yeah. And shout out to Sierra. This Glamour Mag shoot is unbelievable. Just to see Sierra in full editorial high fashion, beautiful interview with Hunter Harris. Hunter Harris, who we're trying to book Hunter Harris for the pod. Hunter Harris has been on the list for a bit, and we've been chatting. So manifest a Hunter Harris dumpster dive crossover soon. But Hunter Harris did a fantastic job of interviewing Sierra. And y'all, if you need a good read just about who Sierra is as a woman, who she is as a Black woman in a white show, what it is like to use her platform for good, it's just a great chat. A really, really, really great chat. But to see that versus West and Amanda curled up like little rats at Yankee Stadium, chowing down on hot dogs, wearing their big boots and probably no socks, stinky ass feet. They got, their feet are rank. So it's just crazy seeing those two things back to back. But yeah, that's like mostly all the new. Oh wait, one other thing about Madison and Mike's wedding. True Bravo fan. So Madison is like a diehard Bravo fan like me. Once again, OG listener of the podcast. And Mike has become a reality TV, I dare I say, super fan through Madison, because Madison is like, first I think he fell in love with Love Island, and then she was like, there's so much better reality TV than this. Like, this is great, like, content to watch after work, like, turn your brain off, but there's like really good TV. Oh no, that's not true. They watched Traitors, and Mike was like, who is Tom Sandoval? He's crazy. And Madison was like, well, guess we got to start Vanderpump Rules. And so they watched all of VPR, and he fell in love with VPR. So they walked out to their reception. Their like reception entrance song was the VPR theme song. Just raise your glasses high. This one's for you tonight. So shout out to Madison and Mike. I know they will hear this because they're true supportive friends. And I love you guys so much. Well, let's get into the Summer House episode this week. So we have Summer House Season 10, episode number 12. Once again, if you want an early access and ad-free version of this video, do subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/dumpsterdivepod. There is a $1.99 tier. You heard me, $1.99. That gets you the early access audio and video. And then for $4.99 or $5 a month, you get all of that plus a Dumpster Dive Live, which is going to be coming up next Wednesday, actually. Next Wednesday, April 29th at 8 p.m. Kix, my sister, and the OG co-host of this said podcast will be joining me on Patreon to recap Real Housewives of Rhode Island. That's for the patrons only. Do subscribe to hear that. That's patreon.com/dumpsterdivepod. The $5 here. Next Wednesday, you'll get a link to hop in the live and listen to Kix and I chat Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Okay? But back to Summer House. So we open up on this episode, and Sierra is still reeling from what happened at the party, Jesse's Viva Las Vegas party, where West was making out with that girl. She is in the house and chatting with Mia and Amanda about everything that went down. And Amanda says, in quote, the episode starts with this, and a chill ran up my motherfucking spine. She says, "You are so seen. I see you. You deserve so much more respect than you receive." Amanda, this is diabolical. This is diabolical. For you to have those words in you and to have also the actions in you that you are currently taking part in is so upsetting. Like, that is, we keep bringing it up, but this is where there is distrust with white women in Black friendships circles, okay? You are not treating this woman like you would treat any of your other girlfriends, or you're treating her just like you treat your girlfriends, and that's why you don't have girlfriends anymore. It's one of the two. Really dark stuff, y'all. I just can't stand it. And everyone gets ready to go out. Once again, West is consuming substances on a level that is kind of jarring on this season. Does anyone else feel like he is never not in a state of hungover bloat? Like, I know we're all reading into everything way too much right now, but it does make me feel like he is having like a bit of a anxiety kind of breakdown or something, because he's just like constantly on something, and when he's not on something, he's violently hungover, like violent, how ill he feels. And it's crazy. Like, he was like wasted at this party, fell asleep, came to, talks to the boys about what happened with that girl, then showers, then goes out to drink more, and then the next day he looks like he is a corpse. I'm like, what is happening? Like, you can't keep up with Kyle Cook, because Kyle Cook knows how to party, and he somehow is able to still film this show looking dewy and beautiful, but Wes does not have that in him. And here's the thing, I don't either, but I know that I that's not my journey. But West, y'all, I don't know. There's something, he's just in a different place. Like, he is in a constant state of blackout. It's really weird. So they all go out and watch Kyle DJ at Common Ground. The next morning, we get another moment of Mia talking about the continued dreams about her mom and both of her parents, really, and how she really wants to move forward with chatting with a medium. Now, shout out to Mia, because like, she really is such a breath of fresh on this show. She's so funny and she's so sweet. I really laughed at her being like, I know y'all don't want to hear about this. Like, she looked dead in the camera in her interview, just being like, none of y'all came here to watch me cry and talk about my dead parents, but here we are. It's just funny. Like, she just is great at being a reality TV person. Like, she just gets it. She's funny. She's quick. She's honest. She's what Amanda should be. Funny, quick, and honest. Not mean, slow, and a cheater. Y'all, they've done so much bad shit. It's so easy to shit on them at this point. So here we are. What else happens that next morning? Oh my God, we have to talk about the spread. Daddy Carl saved the day with the McDonald's spread. Y'all, I felt deep attraction to him in this moment. And y'all know I do err on the side of Carl is hot. The fact that he bought bagels and then ordered a McDonald's breakfast platter spread plus McDonald's biscuit breakfast sandwiches plus hash browns. Y'all, there is nothing better in life than a McDonald's hash brown. a McDonald's hash brown and that little paper slip. And every time I have a McDonald's hash brown, it always reminds me of my child. And as a kid, we loved McDonald's, like breakfast. We would always go there before church on Sundays. And I just have a special place in my heart for the Monopoly weeks or months at McDonald's when you would collect all the Monopoly locations on the McDonald's items. And for some reason, because I always got a bacon, egg and cheese biscuit and a hash brown and a beverage that wasn't Coke. Okay. The only item out of those three that would have the Monopoly peel off was the hash brown. And for some reason, I don't think the biscuits had the peel offs on them. And I always wanted to get the big bucks on the peel offs, which if you haven't seen the doc, there was a doc about the McDonald's Monopoly on HBO about how it was rigged and no one really could ever win. So regardless, this was nostalgia for me seeing those hash browns, and I would like to go get that. It honestly hit me in the DMs. Anyone want to go get McDonald's breakfast this weekend? I would love that. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm actually going to the problem is I live like probably a little less than a mile from a McDonald's. It's just kind of like that walk back I don't want to do. I don't want to eat at that McDonald's. That feels kind of dark-sided. Eating at a fast food restaurant in New York has a different vibe than it does in suburbia. Like in suburbia, you could like saddle up at a Raising Cane's and gossip and it would be fine. Here, it doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't feel right. I can't quite describe it, but I might acquire some hash browns this weekend. So yeah, once again, West is in a place of utter turmoil this morning. I can't imagine his blood pressure is at a healthy place. He looks like he's crawled out. He looks like a garbage pail kid. Boss baby garbage pail kid. And he tries to have another kind of apology moment with Sierra where he's like, I want to apologize. I'm sorry. Yesterday was a mess. I shouldn't have done that. And it's not great. And KJ has a killer line later that we'll get to about apologies. So wait on that. But in West's confessional chair, he says, "You say you're good with awkwardness, but I'm not." Now, West, if you're not good with awkwardness, need I ask you, why on earth would you go through this whole scandal? If you're scared of awkwardness, if confrontation is awkward for you, if you don't want to confront your friends, have conversations with your friends about real shit, why do shady shit behind their back? We just learned on Watch What Happens Live that him and Amanda were going and doing these like one-on-one breakfasts and brunches and dinners around the group, and they would run into him. Like you are putting yourself in awkward positions just because this hot girl likes you. But then you're unwilling to address the mechanics of that relationship. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. He can't have his cake and eat it too. Okay. And we know he likes to chow down. Back in the city, Mia has the cutest family. Mia and her brother, they honestly remind me so much of Kix and myself. The reverse, me being Mia, of course. And Kix being cute brother. And calling Kix cute brother, there's just something funny there about it. You have to admit. Shout out to Kix. I feel like we have a lot of new listeners here, and I feel like y'all don't all know the lore of this podcast, and that is that it started with me and my sister in the pandemic, and my sister is my best friend. She is an absolute light in this world, and she was my favorite cohort here on the show, but she's just, a professional businesswoman and couldn't keep up with all the comings and goings on Bravo. So I set her out to pasture. But y'all, she's amazing. Follow her, Kix Hamlet, CIXHAMLETT on Instagram. She's fantastic, and she'll be here once again for a Rhode Island recap on the Patreon, so check that out. But Mia and her brother, they meet with a medium. And I think I would like to meet with a medium, I'm realizing. I think that I would like to see, there's a couple people that have passed. There's a lot of people in my life that have passed, sadly, but the number one person that I would like to communicate with, because it has been so long since we've been able to communicate, was my aunt. My aunt Sue. She helped raise my sister and I, because my parents were both very present, but they were working a lot and traveling a lot for work. And our aunt lived around Dallas, and in a low moment, my parents were like helping her out of like a tough situation. And they're like, why don't you just come live with us? And so she lived with us, and she helped raise us as kids. And some fun facts about my aunt. My aunt was adopted into my mom. It's my mom's sister. Aunt was adopted into the family, and she was Black, and my grandmother adopted her into this white ass neighborhood in Dallas because she just wanted to have more children, but didn't matter who or what they looked like, and just raised this mixed family in Dallas as a single mother. It's kind of crazy that she did all of that on her own. And so my mom ended up being a big part of that, raising the family as well, almost as like a second mom. So my aunt was kind of my big sister and also my aunt. Like, she was my mom's best friend, but she was also my mom's younger sister. On top of her, being a Black woman in a white family in Dallas, baby, she was a lesbian. Check that. So yes, a Black lesbian raised me. So if you have any questions about why I am who I am, there it is. And then she moved to Queens with her partner. I live in Queens now. I just feel like I would love to have a medium step in and help me communicate with her, so she can kind of pseudo meet Brian and meet my dog. And I just would love it. I know that got really real for a second, but that's just a little info about me. I feel like I don't always share so much about me. I shit on a lot of other people, but I don't talk a lot about me. But yeah, that's my Aunt Sue. So shout out to Aunt Sue. May you hear this. Do you think in heaven they're like listening to podcasts, like catching up on their stories? I guess they probably don't need to listen to podcasts when they could just quite literally be like, she could be sitting behind me watching me do this, I guess. I'm sure she's so proud. So yeah, the medium is beautiful though. Like, it just really inspired me to do it. Like, I thought that this medium that Sierra uses is really special, and she has a wonderful delivery, and it feels very real. And I mean, I believe in this shit. I really do believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. I believe in contacting the other side. I've told it here on the podcast before, but one time I had an oracle tell me I was an oracle. More on that later. So I really believe in it. And I thought this was a beautiful scene, and Mia's brother is so sweet, and they're so sweet together. Now, to a darker event, the dog event, hosted in Murray Hill somewhere, I'm sure. West is hosting this like bar crawl dog event where all the proceeds from the bar go to this, rescue center. Now, that aspect of it is beautiful. The darkness stands in the fact that it's literally just Kyle, Amanda, and West there. And Amanda and West have attention and energy or something. Now, I really don't. I'm from the camp of not believing that they were an item in the summer. Like, I don't think they hooked up. I just think there was intense emotional cheating. Like, she's hugging Wes like, this is the only person that's here for me. That's the vibe that I get from them. And that doesn't feel right. Like, I'm sorry, it's different with straight people. Like, straight women and straight men, I'm sorry, I just think it's hard to have like a really honest, not sexual, not emotional relationship. It just feels a one-on-one relationship. And correct me if I'm wrong. I have not seen that work out well. Or I've seen it work out well in the terms of that they ended up becoming like boyfriend, girlfriend, and getting married. Like, I have a friend that is married to one of her best straight guy friends now that we went to college with. We all went to college with both of them, and they were great friends, got along really well. And then they realized that they actually wanted to be inside of each other. Oh my God, that was too far. May they never hear this. I don't think they support me. Did you hear that? I don't think they support me. I'm kidding. They do not need to support this show. But yeah, we get this scene with Wes and Amanda chatting about how weird it is that how Amanda's saying how weird she feels that like being in the middle of Sierra and West. And this is all really dark. And y'all, to be honest with you, seeing Amanda say this, I immediately thought that she was Team West. The way she was like, it's just hard to like support you and her. I just don't want to be put in the middle of it. So like, want to make out. Something about it also feels staged. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something about it does not feel real. And the hug between them lingered a little too long. This whole thing was dark-sided, completely dark-sided. So we are now into next weekend. Y'all, I'm having so much fun recapping this on my own with y'all. I needed just a second with my dumpster divas because I do feel like we got off on a weird foot in our recaps last week. I'll leave it at that. No, next weekend I'm having a blast though, and I like sharing more about my life with y'all. It's been a second since I've gone there. So we have Scott joining the girls next weekend. So that's Mia's boyfriend. The jury's out on Scott for me. Restaurant boys, you can never trust a restaurant guy. There's just something off about a restaurant guy. There's especially a chef, and he's a chef. I don't know. My eyes are. What's that meme of Cardi B where she's like, "That's suspicious." That's how I feel. KJ spills the biggest truth in the car heading to the Hamptons that I need Wes to hear this in his core because he did not hear it in that car. He sat there in that car like, who does this guy think he is? KJ delivered the biggest truth, and that was this. You can only apologize so much. Let your actions speak louder than words. Let your actions be what she sees as the apology, as the change. And West immediately shuts it down and is like, I've been trying that. You haven't been here for the last 2 years. You haven't been here. KJ is right, West. You are not acting sorry. You say sorry. You act like a puppy dog and be mopey and sad because you wanted to get your dick sucked by someone in front of Sierra. But then the second that it all goes awry, all you do is say sorry, but you don't change your behavior. And KJ is clocking you. In the words of the late, great Justin Bieber, are you not clocking that I'm standing on business? Isn't that what he says? Oh, it's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business? Not the late, great. I'm sorry I said that. What did y'all think of his Coachella? I liked it. Don't tell anyone. The thing about his Coachella that I feel that some people are missing, whether you're an elder millennial or you're like a young Gen Alpha, Gen Z, is that KJ. Justin Bieber is like our first YouTube viral person, essentially. It's definitely the first viral YouTube artist, like musician. And so there's something incredibly, dare I say, poetic about him searching himself on YouTube. I know that's a sentence that sounds crazy, but like he's going back and looking at how he became who he is today. I understand the argument that like men can get away with doing the minimum and women have to put on a full extravaganza. But like in the end, I don't think I would want to see a Justin Bieber extravaganza. Like I kind of liked whatever this was. I like his music and I thought it was kind of sweet. Dare I say. Man, it's once again, the bar is low for men, so I obviously understand that is at play here, but I kind of liked it. Anyways, back to Summer House. So Amanda isn't coming this weekend. She's sick. Now, she reveals in an interview that she's like having a really hard time this summer playing like happy-go-lucky when in reality all she wants to do is isolate. And a lot of this feels interesting to me because it feels like what she's actually saying is, I've had to play pretend that I am in a marriage that I haven't been in for months, and I'm tired of playing pretend. Do y'all think that's the case? Do you think that's? I really don't know. I really don't know if they were actually separated during this and they were lying, or I don't know. I don't know. I think her and Kyle have been incredibly cagey about what they actually show in regards to their relationship, because as we've come to find out, as everything in the scandal has unfolded, it doesn't seem that everyone really had the true story about Amanda and Wes's timeline. Not everyone had the true story about Amanda and Kyle's separation. Like, I just think there's a lot of mystery here that is kind of, that they've done a good job of hiding. I could see them getting away with pretending that they're not together, because Kyle in this episode planted the quote of, I realize that, like, I'm having the most fun I've had all summer, and it's because Amanda is not here, which is making me realize how effed we really are. It's like, that feels like such a quote that you worked on and wrote down with Amanda, your PR person, to figure out how to slowly stage the dissolution of your marriage. So Amanda's out for the weekend, and then we get this amazing scene. Oh, it's also revealed in the card that KJ and Dara are officially boyfriend-girlfriend. And we get this amazing scene of Sierra going, heard you got a girlfriend, you got a girlfriend, heard you got a girlfriend, you got a girlfriend, heard you got a girlfriend, you got a girlfriend, heard you got a girlfriend, you got a girlfriend, heard you got a girl. She needs to release that as a single. Heard you, unless it is a reference to an existing single. Is it? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I was bopping. I was like, heard you got a girlfriend, you got a girlfriend. I just love me as Sierra and KJ all cuddling up, being like, tell us, so do you like her? It's just cute. And I love, okay, you know what? Here is a straight man that I can trust with. KJ is a straight man I can trust with straight women. It just came to me. It just came to me. He respects women, so he can be in a friendship with women because he respects them as more than places to put his penis. That's what it is. That's what it is. I just clocked y'all. I just clocked all of y'all. He respects women, and that's why it's a safe place for him to be with straight women. That's it. That's why he works. That's why he is the best. I'm scared to stan. I know we've all, I stand West for a little bit there, y'all, and I hate to see that. Hate to see that. But it is what it is. So that happened. And it's just sweet to see, though, the three of them cuddle up and talk about him like they're just his big sisters. I just love it. They really make me so happy. We got to talk about something with West. Y'all, I have brought it up so many times, and I'm going to bring it up again. Someone needs to do a dissertation on this. It's not me, the white man in the room, but why is it that the white man in the house that appropriates black streetwear and black verbiage is the one mistreating the black woman? Why is West in Tim's and like a Yankees hat and like baggy jeans? I'm like, this is my thing about the baggy fashion right now, is like a lot of it is pulling from streetwear. And a lot of that streetwear was coined, the style inspo was all coined and founded by black men and women in New York in like the 90s. And in spaces where like it was just them. FUBU, like for us, by us type of inspired like outfits. And it's weird to me to see sometimes white people in like, and I have the baggy pant thing too, but like there's a fine line between like just following like the trends, but also, or leaning fully into like just black streetwear. Like you are dressing in a way that is not in line with who you are. And I understand that we're all just pulling from each other, but at least acknowledge the fact that you're pulling your inspo from Black culture. That's my one issue with Justin Bieber. That's my one issue with Billie Eilish, is that they're always, the way they're talking, the way they're acting, the way they're dressing is directly pulling from Black media, but not necessarily recognizing the fact that like this is Blackness that I'm taking part in. And I'm sorry, West, take the Timbs off. It is summer. It is August in New York. And bitch, you're from Missouri. Take the Timbs off. Okay? And you know his feet stank in there. You know it's terrible in there. You know it's terrible in there. I hate to be Jesse in that room when he takes those shoes off. Oh, Jesse. Could not be me. But yeah. West, it's just always like Blackness that he's trying to appropriate. And I feel like KJ's clocking it. I feel like as KJ has been in the mix on this season, because he came in as like sort of West's friend, I just feel like he's like, what are you doing? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if West showed up to the reunion with grills on. Y'all, my caffeine is hitting. I'm saying some crazy shit. And this is 46 minutes into the recording. So hopefully I've weeded out some of the scary people who will come for me for these takes. But take the Timbs off. Take the Timbs off. The times I liked West's style, to be honest, was when he was playing in like collegiate Tom Brown, like Dochi version, like collegiate streetwear. Felt a little more like rugby shirts, and like that's the style that I felt like aligned a little bit more with him. He's fully diving into like black streetwear now, and it just feels really not right to me. Let's see what else. They go out. Kyle has fun with Amanda. Kyle and Ben have a drunken sit down where Ben's like, "Oh man, you can talk to me about anything you want. I'm Ben Waddle. And I know you're going through lover boy problems, but I'm Ben Waddle, and I can help you through anything." And Sabrina is there also this weekend, but she kind of gets no screen time, which I'm okay with. A lot of you said to me, thank you for bringing up Sabrina's shoes. I think a lot of people did not realize that Sabrina looked like she was Robin Hood. So, thank you for acknowledging. The next morning, Carl is meditating. Sierra looks fine as hell, going to this boat day. West is hungover, and they agree to go have a sit down and address everything that's been going on in their relationship. So, Sierra says that like the biggest hurt of their relationship over the past 3 years is the way that West talked about her in the press, essentially to make himself look better. Because it just really hurt her feelings that he would take to media instead of talking directly to her about everything that went down. And it just kind of belittled, she felt like that it belittled the seriousness of their relationship. And they also talk about, really honestly, and I liked that this was included in the show, the impact of social media on their relationship and on the way they navigate the show. And seeing so many mean things said about West because of Sierra. This is his words. Bad things said about West because of Sierra. That made West feel a little bit, feel some anger towards her. And I'm sorry, y'all, that's not the right take. West, like, you still are talking about having vitriol for this woman. It should be directed at the fans, not at this woman who did nothing wrong, but just follow your word. And your word was that you really cared for her and wanted to be in a relationship with her. But West does apologize, and you know what? I will give it to West in this one moment. I do think this apology, I mean, obviously we're on the other side of it, and it's really dark to see where we are now. In the moment, though, this apology felt really real, and seeing Sierra say so emotionally, "Can we just be best friends again?" really broke my heart. And this hug was real. Their emotions are real. I think with Wes, the problem is something goes down behind the scenes. Something happens when he opens his phone. I think fame has really gone to his head. And I think that he thinks he's cooler, bigger than he really is. And I've said this before, but I just think it's a case of like, he's a nerd that didn't realize he could pull hot women, didn't realize he could get attention from his quote unquote swag that he stole from black people. And he thought he was flying high for a little bit and thought he was a little invincible and thought he was cooler than the show, cooler than these relationships, and has like an inflated ego about himself because of the fan base. That's why I think a lot of this, I've said this before, I think a lot of the problems that happen on the show is partially our fault. We put these people on kind of god tiers. We celebrate them for their bad behavior and worship them because of it. And I just think we've made him a little invincible, and we should never have done that, myself included. I mean, once again, I've had him here on this podcast. So that's kind of my take on where we're at with everything. And lastly, Jesse was on Watch What Happens Live, and a couple big takeaways from that. He was on with Kristen Cavallari, and she was bothering me because she was like very team men. I don't know. She kind of was like defending Wes sometimes. I thought it was weird. Jesse and Wes don't seem to be in a good place, which I like to see that. And Jesse is very team woman in all this, very team Sierra. And the biggest reveals were that he felt that Wes and Amanda rather were doing some things behind his back. They like would go to dinner, and then they would go to a separate dinner. They would run into him at bars. They went to dinner in Miami, just the two of them. It didn't include Jesse. And West and Amanda both lied to Jesse multiple times about them being in a relationship when Jesse pressed it. After the statements came out, Jesse said that Amanda apologized for lying to him, but West did not. So that's where we stand. So y'all, that was Summer House. Once again, I am going to cover this episode again on more of a high level version with Two Gay Mats and kind of hear more about the reality TV diet that they both consume. Make sure to follow them on youtube.com/2gaymats. They do amazing reaction videos to albums and trailers and anything that's important to the gays, they're reporting on it. So that'll be out later this week. We'll also chat Survivor 50 because I'm loving Survivor this season. And once again, next week, next Wednesday at 8 p.m., April 29th, we will have a Dumpster Dive live for patrons only. If you want access to that, subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/dumpsterdivepod. The $5 tier will get you the live. If you want to just get early access to these videos and episodes, you can subscribe for $1.99. And that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you. Thanks for letting me talk openly about some more raw things in my life today. That felt nice to do. And I love you guys. And I'll chat with y'all next time. Peace.